Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Laura. We got Bunny next door. This is our third show of the day, but this one is a little bit different. This is our DT showcase. So in this show, we are going to be remaking some of the design team cards to show you how they have been made. We are going to be using our new collection, A Day to Remember, which launched yesterday. It's been extremely popular. It's the third show of the day using this. It will be on Hobby Maker tomorrow if you do want to see some more inspiration with that. But for this one, we are doing the DT showcase. Now, I'm just going to quickly remind you, the collection is on offer until midnight on Friday, so that show price will go back up at midnight on Friday. So if you want to grab it before then. But if you get it before midnight on Thursday, you will have an email on Friday with 100 free background papers to you as a thank you, because from Carnation, this kit has been extremely busy and obviously it's getting up close to Christmas, so it's just a little thank you from Carnation to you guys. So if you order before midnight on Thursday, on Friday, if you have already ordered, you will get that, but on Friday you will get an email with 100 free background papers, and those background papers, I will just say, are different to the ones that you can already download on the website, so them ones will be just for you guys. So let's jump in. And we are going to start with our cards. Now, the first one we are going to make is one by Janine. So this is the card that we are going to be making. So we've got the oval frame and the tab on here. So we need to do some cutting for this. So let's grab... Yes, right, let me try and organize myself a little bit here, she says. Right, so we need the darker color in the background. So let's, where is that? Here, so we can pop, so we got this, we'll pop that on there, and we need the matte for this as well. So we'll put them on. Now, if I was doing this at home, I would use the magnetic sheet on top. So these would be facing me. I always do it when I'm using more than 2 dies, because I am not like the girls here, they will die cut and they will just place them on the image and cut them out. Like, I am not that person. Mine move. I need the magnetic plate, or I need to just tape it down with some low tack tape. But I do feel like they're spaced apart enough that I'm going to be okay. And I say that. We hope. I mean, I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's fine. It's completely fine. So we need to get them out, and then we need to do the polka dot one next. So, but let us know if you are watching, or if there's something you want us to cut out, if there's something you want to see, if you're sat at home crafting along, anything at all, let us know. Is that the same size? Yes, it is. Got the larger frame and that tag. So now we need the dot design one. And we need the next size in, so I'm going to go for that one, and then the next size in on that tab, and then we can cut these out. So it's a nice way as well to see that the paper papers do cut out so lovely, because I do think that because sometimes, you know, when we say 300 GSM, you do think, oh, is that actually going to die cut okay? Because you are getting into that heavier weight cardstock. But you can see they do cut, die cut lovely. So pull that off there. So we've got, that goes there. So we've got our next. I've cut the same layer, but I've done it the wrong way round. I have done it the wrong way around. Do you know what? It's fine. They're going to be the wrong. That one's that way, and then that one I've done the right way. Do you know what? We're going to mix it up. Why not? Why? Who says they have to be exactly the same? Oh, right, no. Now I've got the hammered cardstock that is available on the website. I think I've used it all the time since it's come out. It is such a lovely cardstock. It's I think it just adds like that subtle bit of texture into your projects, and it's because it's white cardstock. Even if you like more of a clean and simple looking card, it just effortlessly adds a bit of texture into your project. So it really does make a world of difference to your project when you're making them. Right, now I've already cut out the frames for this, so we can start putting this together now. So I've got the frame. Let me just pull out the die. Right, so we've just cut those two out now. So let's start putting this together. So we've got the back, and then I've just done the back in that same hammered cardstock. So we can just copy this card. But do let us know if you start home crafting, or maybe you've had yours. If you had your happy post. And then we'll add this one. So we need some foam tape. I had a strip of foam that was like on the side of there, and it's gone. It's going to be stuck on me somewhere, isn't it? It has to be. That's gonna baffle me. I'm gonna be like talking, and then all of a sudden all I'll hear is Bunny like hysterically laughing because it'll be stuck somewhere. It'll be just sticking out of the back of my head or something. Like, I think us crafters are prone to that though. The amount of times I've gone out and then I've got like little bits of like dye, you know, like the little tiny little bits that you get out of your dye, like will be in my hair or like on my top or something. I think it's just one of the things that show we're crafters. Oh, Pam has messaged us. Pam is on our design team. Oh, and she says she's writing Christmas cards, which she doesn't like doing. Oh, why don't you like writing your Christmas cards, Pam? Although, to be fair, sometimes, it depends on how many cards, it does take a long time, and it's like you're constantly writing the same thing, aren't you? I found that little bit of tape, by the way. It's stuck on the bottom of my shoe. So at least I know it's not on my head or anything. So there you go. I'm gonna just nod as if I believe that. Right, let's add some foam onto here. Now I want to, because we've got 3 cards here that we're gonna try and make, yeah, in the show. So this one is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so what was it Janine has done is she's cut out so those moss corners, Janine has cut them out and put those inside the frame. So what Janine has done is done that, then cut the moss corner pieces out in white cardstock and put those there inside the frame, so it's just adding texture like in the background, and then cut the frame out again and put that on top. Can you see that background? So that's actually the moss. Oh yeah, you can see it. So you've put that there and then popped a frame on top. Now obviously I don't want you to sit there watching me cut these out, cut that out. So we're just going to go with it like this. So we can move on. So we can try and get the other two cards the design team members have made in as well. So I'm just going to pop this off of here. Oh, Pam has just said it's just a bit tedious writing them. To be fair, yeah. It can't, because you feel like you're just writing the same thing over and over and over again, don't you? So, yeah. I mean, at least though, Pam, when you get them done today now, that's it, they're done. Yeah, it's done. So, because that's a nice feeling, isn't it? When you've done it and you're like, oh, it's done. It's done now. Don't have to think about it again, it's done. Right, so let's add in the ovals next. So I'm just going to add some foam on here. So I'm just going to add some tape on these. So I've got the larger mat that we cut out just now. And then I'll just stick that on there while I'm here. So this is the larger one. So that is going to go on there like that. Then we're going to go in with the next one. So mixing and matching the colours. So they're the same colour, so it's not going to look wrong. It's just the, yeah, do you know what it was? I was going to go solid, spotty, solid. Yeah, just for a change. So add that in, and then I'll stick that on there. So we've got, yeah, I did stick that. So we've got the next one to go on then. So really easy to just do your matte layers, because obviously you've got all the dies in there. So really easy to get that perfect matte layer. Now, right, before I do this, let me stick that on there quick. And then, because we're gonna stick, oh, the frame, isn't it? She was gonna rhyme me, she says. Right, let's stick that there. Stick the frame in, and then we'll add in the flowers, I think, before we do anything else. So we'll add some tape on here, and then we can add those flowers on top. Pop that there. So we've got the frame now in white. So this is still in the hammered cardstock, so you can see how lovely that cuts out. And we do have tester packs as well of the hammered cardstock if you haven't used it before. We do have a tester pack of $9.99 on the website. Right, so we've got that. You can see how pretty that looks. That would be lovely for like a baby card, princess card, really, really pretty. Right, and then we're going to add in the flowers next. So for this one, we're going to add the decoupage pieces, and we're going to add one like that, and then the other one like that. So they're just going to go down the center, and then we're going to add in a bit of the decoupage flowers as well. So let me just grab a couple of these. Yeah, these ones you could literally mix them up anywhere, couldn't you? You could have them in the side, have them in the, you could make like a little corner piece. They literally fit anywhere at all, wouldn't they? And it just works so well. So yeah, really, really easy to use. Glue. Right, so let's pop these in, and then we can add the banner in after. So if we add that one in there, and give that a bit of a shape. So add that one there, and then our banner, just add this in. So if we put a bit of tape on that one, oh, and then we can add this. Oh, that's a nice idea. Bunny's just said with the book you could make it into christening cards. That's a nice idea. Or baptism cards, naming ceremonies. There's so many things you could use it for. Right, and we're going to put this one on there, and then I'm just going to give this a bit of shape, and then that will just fit on top of there like that. So let's put a bit of glue in those corners and put a blob in the middle, so that'll sit there, and then we can just go in. Where's my tweezers? Right, I'm going to just add in some of these flowers on here now, but this I think is like a really clean and simple one, isn't it? And like that could be, so if you imagine popping a sentiment on there, you know, that could be, you know, a Valentine's card, it could be an Easter card, a wedding card, a birthday card, anniversary. That could be so many things, couldn't it? Condolences, sympathy, that could be anything at all. Get well soon, birthday, thank you. It could be anything at all that you could use this for. So I'm just going to add in some flowers. I'm going to add one on there. And here, so you can just build this up, and then I'll add one more. So just using the pink flowers for this one. Oh, add that in, and then look how much depth you've got on there. It really does stand up, doesn't it? There you go. And then if you pop a sentiment on there, you can just, what was that one? Have a wonderful day. So you could just pop any sentiment on there. So it could be for, like we've just said, it could be any occasion at all, couldn't it? That you could pop a sentiment on that. That just works for anything at all. You could even, do you know, if you go to craft fairs and things, you could make that. So if you made this now and you left that white panel off, and then just have those panels next to you with like a stamp set or something, and then you could just say, okay, what do you want on it? And then you could just stamp that panel on, stick that panel on, and then they've got their card then to go. So you could use them like that as well, because that just works for anything at all. And you could even do it the other way as well. So you could have that, obviously flip that, and then you could have it that way then. Add the numbers in there. You could even maybe write like happy birthday in there and like leave a gap there, and then you could put the numbers in there or something. So lots of different ways that you can mix this one up. Right, so we've done that one. Let me maneuver there, and we shall do, should we do this one first? I'm dying to try and peel this foam off my foot. Right, let's do this one. Right, now we don't have a mirror card, so do you want to pick a colour? We'll use one of the colours from the Perfect Papers. She says one of the greens. Let me have a look. She wants a dark green. I have a spotty dark green. Let's do that one then. Right, so this one is actually using the smaller matte layers of the smaller frame. So we're only going to use 2 for this. So let me move. Right, so let's grab our plate. So we need this for the matte. So smaller one. This is going to be, so instead of that gold, we're going to use this green. So let's pop that on there. And we'll run that through. And then we're going to get the, oh, I need some hammered card on there. Let's get some white. I'm stealing Bunny's hammered card that she gave me. I know, I don't have, oh wait there, is there some, I should work. I'll have a look if there's any white over there. To be fair, I need to get some white cardstock anyway. Right, let's open this. Right, so we've got the matte. Let me just pop that there. So we've got the matte for the flowers to go on, and we need 2 of these now to give us the card base. So we need 2 of them. So let's just run that through. And we need our flowers. Oh, sorry. Flowers and the shelf. So we'll do one of them, and then we'll start building this one as this one goes through. So one of them. Oh, we need one more, so let's put this back in there. And run that through. Right, so this is going to be the base. Let's put some tape on here so we can build the mass and layers up. So we've got a bit of tape on the back of that. Back on. And oh, I've gone a little bit too big. Stick that on there. Right, so we've got that. Let me grab. Yeah, my pokey tail just went flying off the counter. Right. Bye, Will. Where's it? Oh. I thought for a split second then if that rolled onto the counter and stuff, I was like, what am I going to do? Right, so we've got our card base. So let's just glue the signs. So if you're doing that at home, just go down maybe an inch, half an inch, just go across the side. Obviously that's going to be the top of the card, so if you're making it that way, you do it that side. We're doing it this way, so just go across there, and then you're going to glue that bit that you've scored is going to go on there. Then that green dotty bit that we cut out, so this is down a layer now, so we've got a layer smaller. Cut that out and then added a bit of foam on the back of there, and then this is going to sit on there like that, so perfect matte layers. And now these are going to go on to here, so we're going to grab some, well actually, do you know what, we're going to use tape, because I put tape on there so this stays up. So let me just grab a little bit of this and flip these around. So let's add some tape along here. So I normally use Pinflow when I'm doing things like this, but if I am layering stuff on top of things, I will always use tape because I haven't got the patience to wait for that. So if I put that on there with Pinflow now and then I'm going to stick that on the top, like sometimes it is easier to just use a tape, because if you go in, you might not mean to, but you might push it back down, because obviously the Pinflow is still set in, so it is still soft, so you might like just accidentally push it down a bit. So if you want to use tape, foam pads like this, you know, especially if you're just building things up, that's why I will always use foam pads in matte layers, because I know I'm going to be putting things on top of it, and by the end of me making the card, if I'd used Pinflow, all those matte layers would be completely flat because I'd have just pushed down on it. So this is gonna go there like that, and then this one is gonna go across the other side. Did we say who made this card? Fiona made this card. I can't remember if I did. Oh, Bunny said I did. I can't remember. And then this one is going to just fit in there and go across the other one. So you've got your complete floral background. And then it's like it was meant to fit on there, isn't it? It was meant to be. And then we're going to add a bit more tape on here. So now you could go on here with your alphabet. You could write somebody's name, or you could add in, you know, that special birthday, whatever it could be. You've now got that space to add in something more personal. It could be like even like a nickname. Do you know, like, you know, I know sometimes you can get you know, you get cards with like son or, you know, mum, but like it could just be like a fun nickname that you call somebody or something like that. Would be really good. Yeah, unusual names, you've got that full alphabet that you can work with, and add in like oh, do you know what that's made me think of? Do you know, because we were like talking about weddings, can you imagine having that as like a name set in? What is that? Aww. And you know, in the gold, like that looks so dramatic with just the gold in the background, and then that one's like more of like, I don't know, like a soft colour, but how different they look. And but yeah, it's exactly the same. Oh, Christmas name settings, you could change them up and use them like that. They just look so different on there, even though it's the same thing that's been used. Really, really, I'm trying to pull the foam off. I can hear every time I move now. No, I don't want it to stick more, but every time I move it, I can hear it like squishing in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to get this out. I mean, I've got some of it off, so there we go. Let's do another one. Right, let me put that there. Right, and we've got one by Barbara next. So we've got this one to do. So let's grab, what do we need for this one? No, we need a large oval. Let me make sure I got my ovals right this time. Right, is that a big one? That is a big one. And do you know what? Just for speed, so we don't have to cut two out, I'm going to use that. Right, we need one of these, and we need the frame, so we can cut those out at the same time. So if I pop them on there. Now, if I was doing this at home, honestly, I would be cutting them out like that to kind of save cardstock, but on my, either I would probably use my magnetic sheet or put some low tack tape on. I haven't got any low tack tape, and I want to make sure that they do not move. If you're thinking like, you know, why are you wasting so much card? That is why. So I'm making sure that I do not break my die. So I'm going to pop them in. So that's going to cut out the back mat and the frame, and then we need to cut out the next layer in that frame. Oh, that will fit there. So we need white cardstock next. So I've got the hammered cardstock again, and we're going to cut out the next layer. So we've got, right, we're going to use that as the base, and then we've got our base there. We've got the frame, and then remove that. We need the next layer, yeah, in white. So I've got the helmet cardstock, pop that on there, and then that is gonna go on there like that. So let's just run that through. Right, so let's pop these together. Now, I would do this at home on a paper cutter, a guillotine. For speed, I am just going to line up that edge with that edge. So, and that's going to be the back of our card, so that makes sure it stands up straight. Obviously, if I was at home, use a paper cutter or a guillotine, whatever you use to cut out, just to make sure it is actually straight. But you know, do as I say, not as I do. Right, so we've got our card. Let's glue this. So we've got the base. So we're going to glue them together because that's going to be the back of our card. So that's our card base. And then we need the next layer, then we've got the hammered cardstock. So let's add this in with a bit of foam. So I got one. Right, let's put this in. So this is just going to sit on there like that, and then we need the frame. Now you can see Barbara wasn't it? Barbara's only used the frame part of this. So what we need to do is cut this out. So you'll see, look, you've got those easy apertures. Like if I just go like that, you can see like how you've got those big open spaces, and you've just got those little like little pips, those little holders holding them into place. Now whatever's easiest for you, like I do find it easier to go in with a craft knife, but you have got room. Look, you can easily get your scissors in there and just snip away. Yeah, I feel like the first snip is the hardest, because obviously you've got to get your scissors in, but like no, look, you've got all that room to get in, so it does get easier after you've done the first one. Not that I don't think it's difficult anyway, but it does get easier after the first snip. Bunny's just said if you left the ones on the side, hang on, let me cut that bit off. So if you left it like that, you could have it like a little door. Do you know what I just thought? You could have that like a mirror card, and like mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And then you could like put a little picture behind it. Aww. Aww. You could make like a Valentine's card with it, couldn't you? Be like, ta-da, it's you. Aww. Right, let's add in let's add some foam on here, and I'm going to use the Clean and Simple foam tape for this. The Clean and Simple foam tape, it fits perfectly with these frames. So if you are thinking that you need some foam tape, or you get in this collection, the Clean and Simple one really it's like the perfect width to go with these frames. So they do work really, really well. So I'm going to add these in, and then we'll add that on. So we've got our frame, but really nice and easy to go in and just snip those frames away. You can see how easy they are. And then you've got that oval panel as well, so you could use that for something else after as well if you wanted to. So we'll add that in there. Right, so we've got our frame with all up tape on, so we'll just quickly pull these off, and then we can add the frame onto the card, and then we can add our decoration. So that is, oh yeah, make sure it's the right way around. Right, so we've got that frame that is going to set there like that. So you've got your frame, and now we're going to add in, so Barbara's added in some of the flowers and the present as well. So let's do this. So I'm going to add the flowers in first. So we've got the large flower. So this is actually the decoupage flower. This is the bit that decoupages on top of the larger one. But you can see Barbara's used it completely on its own, and it does work really well just on its own. So we're going to add this in. So that is just going to sit there like that, coming up that frame. And then Barbara's added in the present kind of coming out of the side, which I think is so cute. It's like a little surprise, like popping out, isn't it? So we'll add that in there like that. So we'll have that kind of coming out like that. And then what Barbara's done is she's actually cut the bow out. So let's snip this out so we can add this on, just like some decoupage. And there's no fussy cutting with these because you've got all of the detail cut lines in the die. It follows the pattern, so you're not fussy cutting. You would just, do you know exactly how we cut the frame? It's exactly the same. You're just following along with your scissors until it stops you, and then you just cut in those little holding bits off, and then that's it, it's done. So you don't have to think, oh, but I'm not really good at fussy cutting or anything like that, because you're not fussy cutting, you're just following those cut lines. See? Just like that. And then we've got a bow. So let's give this a bit of shape so this stands out. So that is going on there, like that. So we've got that in, and then let's add in, where are those flowers? Let's add these flowers in and really build this up. I don't know whether to cut that down, because like Barbara's got the, the smaller decoupage piece, but we haven't got that. So what's that? No, they're just the smaller ones. Let's pop some of these in. Now, one of the things I like that Barbara's done is she's mix and matched the flowers. So she hasn't kept the flowers to just be where they need to be. She's mix and matched them up. So let's mix and match some of these flowers up, and we'll build this up. So I'm going to put the pink one there, so that covers the orange. And then these. Oh, should we add another? Just me and Bunny going, Let's add these on. Yeah, you can just build it however you want, really, can't you? And then you can add in, like this one, I'm going to add that behind there. So you can add some extra little bits in. And then just to balance out that yellowy orange colour, I'm going to add one there as well, just to balance that out. And then you've got your sentiment to add in, and Barbara's added in as well some gems on there, so on like the design of the frame, just added in some gems. You could go in there with like, you know, like glitter glue, some glossy accent and things as well. I love the idea of cutting these out in like black and going over with some gilding wax. The frames, I think they'd look so dramatic in black, just cut out. It would look really, really pretty. Bear with. So we did them one. So that one we just did was, I've put them right down here, Barbara. And then we've got, shall I just show you the ones that they did? So we've got Barbara, we've got Fiona, and we've got Janine as well. So you've got your 3 cards. They look completely, and even like the ones that we did, so you know, you've gone from such a dramatic effect there with the gold, and then that one to me looks completely different, and the only thing that's different is that backing paper. But like the flowers in that one seem a lot more vibrant, whereas here they're more like softer. It's just completely changes the look. And then that one we did more or less keep exactly the same, didn't we? That one, you know, the only thing that's different there is obviously you adding in whichever sentiment you would like to add in. And then we also have that one then, which again, just adding in your sentiment. That could be for anything at all, couldn't it? Just any occasion at all you could be using that for. It would just work so well. So tomorrow, if you would like to see some more inspiration using our brand new collection, A Day to Remember, I will be on Hobby Maker tomorrow at 1 and 5. So you can come and join me on Hobby Maker tomorrow to see some more inspiration using the brand new collection. Now, don't forget the kit is available on our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk, and it is going to be going back up to full price at midnight on Friday. But don't forget, if you order before midnight on Thursday, then Friday you will get an email with 100 exclusive background papers just for you, as a gift for you, a thank you for ordering the collection, for, you know, supporting Carnation, and obviously it's Christmas time, so it's just a nice little extra that you'll be getting on Friday. So hopefully I will see you tomorrow, and then I think you've got Clean and Simple Monday? Or Tuesday? Tuesday. So next on Carnation Crafts TV, Bunny and Dawn will be here on Tuesday launching the latest Clean and Simple collection. This Friday? Oh yeah, and actually Dawn will be here this Friday as well, doing Post-it with Petals pop-up box. And then which is a brand new Crafter Select. Then Dawn will be here on Tuesday doing Clean and Simple, and then me and Bunny will be back on Thursday. Thursday. With, which is the Friday? No, it's changed. It's the Thursday. We will be back on the Thursday with a brand new. Is that Crafter Select as well? Crafter Select, the mixtape, which is one not to be missed. So hopefully you've got lots of shows, lots of exciting shows coming up. So you can tell it's coming close to Christmas. So hopefully we will see you at some point over the next